Here we go.
Hunt Companion.
Cold front.
Hunt Companion.
The word of the day.
Cold front.
Cold front.
Cool front is what I would call it.
Yeah, not cold yet.
No,
although
it's
this
still 60s.
Well, it's
mid-60s.
It's looking like it's breaking the cycle here. Like we have
cycle.
We have a little bit of a teeter up. Like I was looking at my Southern Ohio farm. I think they're going to get back into like the low to mid 70s early next week, and then boom, back down into the low 60s.
When's that?
Through next weekend. Yep.
I got a bunch of ice cream shop projects coming up. We've got, but kind of my cycle here is we got, and I just got back from Illinois. I did the 2-day thing. We can talk to that real quick, but I'm going to try to run out tomorrow after pods and try to hit tomorrow, Friday, see what the weekend is looking like. I mean, I'm not getting
Saturday weather looks decent. Sunday's when it's supposed to start warming up again.
Yeah, it's just like early October still, you know?
That's what
like,
I was going to say. Like, I mean, it's cool to have this front because we've been in the 80s, right? And so we got rain. We just talked, my Kentucky place got 3+ inches of rain. So we've gotten rain, and then we had this, 20-degree temperature swing, which is significant. It's too early, in my opinion, from like really capitalizing on scrapes or something like that. Not saying that you can't kill them on a scrape. We're filming this on.
Oh, you definitely can. I mean,
the 8th.
That's where you kill them.
Yeah.
If you're going to kill them right now. I had a 3-year-old on his feet this morning, which isn't saying much, but I had flyer daylighted last night for the first time in a while.
That was right after the rain passed through, right? Yep.
Yeah, they were hammering that green, that clover, and that new rye and stuff that's coming up there. So, and he did a whole loop. I mean, I had him on 5 cameras.
Whoa.
In a matter of 12 hours.
He was stretching it.
Those are all within
a few
50
hundred yards.
acres.
Yeah.
But he hit all of them, which was interesting.
Yeah. No, so I mean, you absolutely can. They're just.
And only one was daylight. All the other ones were at night.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is like they for sure can slip up just because it does. We even said it's like, wow, it feels fall-like finally outside. But not as much as they probably would slip up if this same thing happened 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you're looking at now is like, just pure weather patterns. It will be interesting to see if we have deer kind of lull out here in the next week or two, or if all those acorns dropping early, we already went through that. And it's just what we're seeing now, which is, sporadic nighttime, mostly movement.
What has the lull been chalked up to historically? It's like acorns mainly?
It's the changing of the food source primarily. Yeah. So in a lot of cases, it's either going to acorns or like in ag country, it's the turning of the crops, right? You've got green beans and things like that, and all of a sudden that turns, or they get harvested and patterns change completely. So the lull is not necessarily like deer aren't active as much as it's you just don't see them in the places you did see them. Therefore, there's like a lag to catch up to that. That's your lull.
That's not what I would have guessed or said. I would have chalked up historically to like acorn years.
Well,
right?
but not most people don't have. No, it's every year.
Because changing of the food sources is going to cause more movement, right?
Yeah, but you may not see it because your observation sits or your cameras are in places where the food was, where the patterns were.
I don't know, man, because most of my cameras are like in spots where I expect them to move into scrapes.
Well, see, but you're ahead of a step, right? Most people are behind.
I mean, guys are running. I think so.
I would say that most people still have theirs purely on food.
Think so?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yep, and are just as they lose them on food, then they make the move to scrapes.
What does that mean? Trail cameras on food, like just monitoring food plots.
Think about the same thing with tree stands. I mean, most people are sitting on an ag field right now.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
That stand may not even move.
You can kill them on ag fields. I mean,
sure.
We still got some green beans. I mean,
well, there you go.
That's where they're at.
Those patterns haven't completely broken yet.
Yeah.
But when they harvest them or those completely change, then yes, acorns are the next likely food group they're going to, but it's that lag of keeping up with them, keeping up with the change.
Well, they've definitely been hitting acorns for
Oh yeah.
Better part of, if not a little over a month now.
Absolutely.
Since early September, we had some rains that brought those, and I think that drought kicked some of the white oaks off early and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, it had been raining. I haven't really sat, but I haven't heard a bunch of acorns like just falling recently. Like I feel like a lot of that has happened already.
I haven't been in the woods in a week and a half now.
Yeah. Just even listening off the porch, like I've got a lot of oaks there. Like it's not like you hear them falling all over. I think most of them are on the ground.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So yeah, I mean, it's just keeping up. A lot of people were asking about the scrape thing, and we just talked about it's a little bit early, but I think that first of all, the closer the scrape is to bedding, the more likely you're going to see them in daylight. Common sense, right? Obviously, access becomes the key thing there. Can you get in there and can you get out without blowing it?
That's what I think is the main thing right now, and it's relevant because Dad and I were just debating it. I mean, he's wanting to start hunting mornings, and like obviously you can do it. It's like I shot the temptation deer on an opening morning of season, and
but you got in there super early, and you weren't hunting him necessarily in the morning as much as the neighbor was hunting him in the morning, which forced your hand to hunt him in the morning.
It did. I mean, that was a part of it. And I also had some really recent information
it was on camera
about where he was going and coming to or from.
Yeah.
And I mean, I knew a lot about that situation. I mean, we nailed it. He did exactly, other than getting shot before he got to me.
But traditionally, you would not have hunted that morning.
No.
Exactly.
No, because, and it's not that you can't kill him. Definitely, guys kill him. DeQuist is big fan of that and stuff. But like, you need to take, so I mean, and his argument on that is like, dude, he's just like tearing up farms. You know what I mean? He doesn't even know what he's hunting. I texted him last night. And he's like, I'm on one. I don't know what he is, but there's sign everywhere, and that's great. And that's fine. But if you're hunting a small tract or something like that, it's like your odds of killing them versus the odds of educating them is not at all in your favor.
Especially if that's your main place or your only place to hunt. Like,
unless
you don't want to blow it out in early October.
Yeah, the exception would be if like I said on Temptation, if you know where he's going to and coming from, and you can backdoor him, then that's deadly. That's awesome, and you have good access to do that. And there are spots on our farm where you can pull that off.
Sure. Just not many of them.
Just not many of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I think that morning tactic, for me at least, is a much, call it safer / effective tactic when I've got a bigger chunk of woods that I'm hunting. Because the deer just are moving differently. I can get in and get out pretty quickly because of, they're just out foraging, and I can get in there, and by the time I'm getting out, they're already back to bed, right? So it's, but I'm hunting 2,000 acres where you might be hunting a 20-acre woodblock.
Right.
And so it's a different ball game. Like, you're fighting in close quarters, like, they're there. It's just, how is he going to come through? And can I get in and out? Whereas, like, I don't know if he's there. I can easily get in and out. He may be a mountainside over at this point. I don't know.
It's honestly pretty simple. Like, we've hunted that farm now especially this one part of it, it's like it's not perfect, but I mean, we've got them pretty dialed in. Like, I know what they're doing for the most part. And so it's good and bad because, like, the reality is you understand what you have to hunt there. And so, like, on north winds on that part of the farm, it's like you got three stands. And I mean, the access is good for all of them. That's why they are where they are. But like
in the morning they are,
For one of them, it can be safely accessed in the morning this time of year.
Yeah.
Getting closer to November, when they start to cruise, I think it's worth the risk at that point to go. There's two of them that could be hunted in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe even a third, but it's an after sunrise type of thing. That new blind I put out there. If you listen to the HUNTR Podcast, I went in and executed that.
Yep.
You knew that, right?
Yep.
Dude, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Awesome spot.
That's what I did. So, and that's one of these threes that I'm talking about. So I grabbed that blind out of East Twin. And took it over to the clear cut. And I put it on the south side of it, right on the fence line.
Yep, right where that inside corner is and all that traffic.
25 yards from the fence gap right there. That big oak I was thinking about putting a ladder stand on already was all scraped up right there. So I just opened it way up, put a camera on that scrape. And those beans actually look really good there. I'd already discussed with the farmer we're going to leave them, but I was like, I don't know how many pods are actually on there. There's quite a bit. So, and we had a bunch of extra hay bales from, we used to have Aunt Cindy's horses there. And so there was like these random hay bales.
Yeah.
They're not alfalfa bales or anything, but so I had Dad stack them up, one on this side of the blind, and then there's probably 15 or 20.
Are they big round bales?
Big round bales.
Oh, yeah.
Which it's not going to block me all the way out,
Enough.
but it gets me away from the blind at least enough, and really getting to it, because you're right in line.
Right at the end of it.
Right at the clear cut there. So
no, man, I think that's a perfect discussion on that side.
So those are your 3 north stands though. And then on the flip side, you got 1, 2, like maybe 3 at the most stands on the south side, and it's like, dude, we got 6 guys hunting this farm,
I know.
And it's like, so to start throwing morning October, it's delicate, and it's, it's
no GR8 on camera yet.
No.
Yeah.
My plan is I'm going to take my drone in, Friday and just fly right to that spot and get as low as I can and see if I can see anything right where we had them.
There should be buzzards by now or
you
something.
Would think.
You would think. Yeah, hard to say on that
I think
side.
He's probably alive. I
probably,
think he's just...
I bet he feels like shit is what
maybe.
He's probably just like not going very far,
yeah.
Especially even if his legs all cut up and stuff. Like he just probably don't want to move very far.
We put a hole through his brisket, so I mean it's...
Did you say that it did cut the leg or no?
It did.
Yeah, I'm sure he just done. He's probably hunkering down at this point, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other big thing right now, and it favors places that have more terrain, is, especially as this high pressure system moves in, is those rising thermals in the morning are a major advantage, particularly if you're in like bigger terrain, bigger woods, from a deer repositioning standpoint at like 8:30, 9:30 in the morning. I don't know how much you see that on your farm in the like farm territory and terrain, but like in the big wood side of things, they for sure are going to get up or reposition themselves to take advantage of these really heavy pulling thermals that we're going to have here in the next week, really, in and around the next little front coming through.
How so? What do you think they're doing?
Well, I think it's just been, we've definitely had some sinking thermals and stuff, but like, boy, it just feels stagnant in the mornings and stuff, or it has at least before this front. And so I would assume that they're going to really change their bedding positions in that, 8 to 10 or 11 o'clock time frame for sure, from maybe some of these bottoms where it was cooler because it's been 80 some degrees and they got their winter coats on, to more of these, benches on hillsides and stuff where those thermals are going to pull up, on a leeward side. You've got those wind tunnels basically creating on the side. So, and also you're going to have good acorns in those areas too. But I would assume that they've been bedding lower with how much heat has been here and drought, just because that's probably where there may be some puddles from a spring or something like that down there. And now that we got rain and we got colder temperatures, and these thermals in the morning are going to be rising hard for the next 4 or 5 days, I bet you see some of that mid-morning shift to those benches. Or you start seeing more sign picking up on those benches because that's where they're going to be.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You've got to have some pretty significant terrain, I think, for that to come into your strategy, versus like a rolling hill type of thing. Well,
I mean, dude, thermals are a factor everywhere. I mean, anywhere that's got any topography at all, you can feel it. You just drive down, even when you're like leaving your tree stand at night, you get picked up on the machine and you're driving through a low spot. You're like, it's freaking cold down here. It's like, those are thermals
right down in there.
Pull in there.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think thermals are so misunderstood by guys. It was this past, I mean, we've known it, I think, but over time I've given more and more credit to who were we having a conversation with that kind of pushed us over the edge on that, where it was like, yeah, wind is great, it's fine, but I think that the bucks are moving predominantly based off of thermals. I think that's true.
I know Ryan Fuhrer is big on the thermal side. It's probably Cody.
Might have been.
Yeah. Because that's why he was saying about sitting low and basically the sun not being able to cone out and drop far. Might have
been. And I think that observation is true. I just after you go back and look at your sign and your beds and stuff and through that lens, you start to realize, like, yeah, wind's great, but it's not predictable.
Yeah.
Even to the deer, but the thermals are. They do essentially the same thing every day, with less variation depending on pressure and sunlight.
Well, and I think the big thing too right now, especially for the next 3 weeks, is every one of these hubs is going to have a giant scrape in it because of all of those thermals pulling down in that bottom. So now is the time to figure out how can I access that without blowing them out. Like hopefully they are bedding on, the shelf up above you to get into that bottom so that as the thermals drop and they pull hopefully back to where you came from, those deer are going to drop in as well to catch those and come down and hit that scrape.
Well, those are tough too because like
if there's any wind, it's swirling like a son of a bitch.
And your thermals don't start to drop until like late.
30 minutes, probably.
Late. So I think a lot of guys go in and they're like, well, my thermals are going to be falling. And it's like, yeah, at the last half hour. Yeah, other than that, same in the morning. Wind. Guys go in hunting wrong winds and stuff because they're like, well, it's the morning, my thermals will be rising. Like, yeah, it doesn't start till like 45 to an hour after sunlight.
I mean, I've definitely adapted more of, it depends on the spot, but I've definitely adapted more of a gray light approach to some of these spots just because, sure, I want to be in there like when I can shoot, but I don't want to be sitting in there 30 or 45 minutes early when everything is just still pulling behind me, right? It's just sun's just dropping. There is no rising happening until that sun starts to crank up, so I basically want to get in there and be ready as soon as it's light, but not give, because how many times do you sit in the stand and you're like, man, I got deer all over the place. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily a good thing, just because of the way that your scent is just dropping straight down at that point.
Sure.
Especially if you're planning on thermals being a big factor in your hunt. So
that is the deciding factor. Yeah, I mean, if you have a safe set, you got a safe set.
Yeah.
But if you are banking on rising thermals, then like, you're not. I wouldn't count.
Yeah, and there's not a right or wrong answer because you could say, well, if I get in too late, and I'm setting up and he's coming through. Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
It's one way or the other. He's either gonna see you coming in or he's gonna smell you beforehand.
Yeah.
That's where the luck factor comes in.
Yeah, or
reading the conditions.
You need to have foolproof sets, and that's why that's the hardest part. It's like, man, you could look at my Onyx, and there's just pins everywhere, right? Of like, good sign here. This is a great spot. But like, none of those pins are like where I would hunt, right? Because it narrows down to 3 spots that I'm like, this is as foolproof as I can get, or I'm going in and I'm going to kill them, and if I don't, I'm educating them.
Here's a great example of, I think guys can take and apply this. Like, I can think of multiple sets. One in particular is at the north end of a ditch, basically, and it's really close to our property line. So we access, from west to east on the northern property line there, and it's a ditch like this, and they bed here to the south of this stand, and the creek. This is important because like the way creeks flow through your property matters.
Oh yeah,
that's going to dictate how the thermals pull.
Creek flows matter.
So so I put that stand there for a south wind. And truthfully, maybe I did at the time, but I don't know if I gave the thermals full consideration. It's an awesome spot. It's a culvert at the head of a ditch.
Yep.
In the thick. It's good stuff. Right where flyer daylighted. So a guy might think, I'm going to get a south wind in 2 days from now. And
go right up in there.
I'm going to go hunt that crossing there. I wouldn't dare do that.
Because it's going to pull right back.
In an evening. It doesn't matter if I have a 12-mile-an-hour south wind. In that last half hour, when he comes and does the thing, that thermal's going to do what it does every day. It's going to pull straight out of the north. So that's a morning stand, is what it is. And a south wind stand.
Yep.
So that's just what it is.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like when you start to narrow those things down of like how many spots, like you've got a couple spots that are like morning south winds, a couple spots that are evening south winds, a couple spots that are north mornings. Like it does all this. It's not like you have all of these spots. In particularly, rarely do you have a spot that is like I can hunt this on multiple, like north or south winds. Like that's a rarity.
Well, and when you start getting into the rut, if you're just hunting cruising bucks and stuff, it's like, dude, spots are spots, and generally, there's a safe wind. Ideally, you have a safe prevailing wind, and you're sitting longer in the morning, and you're being there early in the afternoon. So.
Maybe using terrain bases for funnels and just travel corridors.
So I agree. Thermals and wind are maybe not as big of they're not as dire as they are right now. But right now, they matter. It's important.
Yep. Yeah, and like a lot of people, because now that we've gotten some moisture, we talked about this a few weeks ago. You're starting to see more scrape activity, right? When there was no moisture, scrapes were like, done.
Yeah. Sorry, you saw something coming to my brain there. I was going to give you even just another example of like, dude, when we hunted that tin shed south stand, our intention was to hunt that tin shed middle stand.
Yeah.
On an east wind.
Yep.
And what happened was we got up there, and fortunately we felt the thermals pulling, even though it wasn't late. It was like 4:35.
It's because we had that front, and so that system was clearing out, and high pressure was coming in. So you can get rising thermals in the evenings in those cases.
Well, and I don't know if what we felt was rising or not, but we felt. In fact, I don't know if it was or not, but regardless, we felt it coming down the hill.
Yeah.
And so that's why we made the decision to hunt the lower stand. Like we felt those thermals in real time.
Well, especially east winds, because those are weak as hell, and thermals are going to overrun those things almost every time.
It's a big deal, man.
Yeah, that's when you get like a lot of swirl happening because they're just inconsistent and weak, from an east standpoint. So, yeah, it it's hard. Those are the things. It takes time just learning. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that when we talk about, man, the number of bucks that wind you and know you're there and you don't even see is because of things like sinking thermals in the wrong places and stuff like that. So you just have to kind of, educate yourself on that, and you can't be too conservative. Like, I think if there's anything we disagree with some of the guys, even, a Brackett or Winky or whoever it is, it's like I don't have 90 days to go out and hunt this deer, so I'm more calculated, but I'm also aggressive in the way I do it. I'm not going to sit on the very, very outside fringe and then just be patient and it will happen. I don't have that time. Most guys listening to this don't have that time.
It's not even a disagreement. It's a risk assessment. It's a risk tolerance. It's like, hey, like you said, we don't have the time. And those guys, half of them are doing it on purpose. I mean, they're like, I just don't want to kill them yet. They're like, I'd rather just keep hunting. And I get it. I would probably be in a similar boat. But yeah, you got to know when to move in, and we got to make the most of our time, and that's just our decision to make. So. Yeah.
No, and it's great. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to get a little moisture here already. That'll help anybody that's got food plots in late, especially cereal grains. You put some forage radish in and some buckwheat. And
tearing out of the ground.
Yep, and they're crushing mine right now. Like, I mean, just absolutely annihilating it right now because it's some of the only green that's out there. Think about the native habitat besides acorns. Throw that away. I'm talking native plant species. Those things are so tough and really undigestible at this point because they've gone through a drought status, right? So they want stuff that's easy to digest. They want clovers. They want cereal rye, right? They want that stuff in their system on top of acorns, on top of browse. And so, that's a huge attraction point right now.
I would say yesterday, my observation is because I left my clover
in the
middle and they were definitely hammering it more than the rye, radish, and buckwheat that I had surrounding it.
Yep.
They were eating some of both, but those two were all packed into that clover.
Yeah, and it's just that clover is 80+% digestible, super high in protein. It checks a lot of the boxes right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and hopefully, these little timely rains. I put an extra 100 pounds of fertilizer out yesterday too. So I'm just trying to everything I can give it, to get it through. Because we're, in fact, as we're recording this tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, we're supposed to have a hard frost. And so that slowly will start to set back some of these annual growth cycles. On some of them, particularly the brassicas and the buckwheat. The rye will any cereal grains will continue to do well. Oats will be a little bit slower, but not that bad.
Well, dude, because I got 10 minutes here. Okay. Let's recap. So I ran to Illinois on Sunday.
Yes.
There was a farm that came up within driving distance of ours, basically, that I was like, looks good enough to run out and take a look. It was, it was
checked a lot of the boxes. Had woods, had some timber that supposedly was valuable, had open areas that were plant, and had some relatively, let's call it, low hunting pressure around, just from the potential.
Well, yeah,
of it.
It was adjacent to a country club.
Yeah, golf course.
Supposedly didn't get hunted. So I called the country club, and they're like, "Yeah, there's no hunting here." And then lady ended up calling me back, and she's like, "Well, there's one. The owner does hunt it every once in a while." And we're like, "Okay, got it."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in somewhat of a residential, not like city by any means.
Yeah, we weren't pulling a Sequan.
No, but enough for there to be some unknowns. You're like, dude, any one of these people, it's like they got 5 and 10 acre lots. Like any one of these guys could be throwing a corn pile out and just doing backyard stuff. Like, like hunting backyard stuff. Yeah. And so, but I went and looked at it was enough. And I was like, oh, hey, I can run to the farm and, just knock out we had some cameras that needed rebatteried and trails needed mowed and stuff. And really I was dying to know not optimistically what our
the food plots
brassicas looked like.
Because we've had less rain there than we've had here, which is saying a hell of a lot.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Go ahead and keep talking. I'll pull up the number, but yeah.
So drove out Sunday, looked at the farm Sunday afternoon. Agent was super cool. He walked the whole farm with me.
Yeah, so last 30 days, Ohio has had 5.5 inches. Kentucky's had 5.5 inches. Home has had 4.5 inches. Illinois has had a 1/2 inch.
In 30 days. I wonder, though, the prior...
Still way behind.
You know, because 3.5 of those inches in Ohio has been from the past week.
8 inches in Kentucky, 7 inches in Ohio, 6.5 in Home, 3.5 in Illinois.
Wow, no kidding. In how 60 days?
60 days, 3.5 inches.
Man,
so low. Anyways, but that plays into the surprise, I think, a little bit in what you saw in the food plots.
Yeah. Well, so just before I get to that, walk the farm. It was a great layout. Habitat was not anywhere close to, it was just going to need a lot of work. And for what it was priced at.
There's only 50-some acres, too. There's not a whole lot we can do.
Well, I mean, you could do it on 50 acres, but it's just, it was just too far to get. It just wasn't. We weren't going to be able to get it there. So I think we wrote that off. Rolled into the farm that night and did a sight lap just on the bottom, which is always on the tractor. I never even got off the tractor.
Yep, it's perfect.
Everything. I drive right up to the scrapes, right up to the tree, right up to the cameras. They're comfortable with that. For the first time ever, somehow I did see deer watching me. Oh yeah. In that river bottom.
Yeah.
On the tractor, and they're just
on the edge right there. Yeah, they love that.
Right where you know they bed. You saw this doe with her head popping out. So mowed that bottom trail the first night. Got up to the top. I checked that brassica plot, which looked okay. I mean, it was better than I expected, because I think last year it was torched. Just, I don't know. And we had better rain last year. It just didn't grow.
There was one section that looks really good, and we were talking about it. Somehow it got hit with a pre-emergent that the rest of it didn't. And that side, I almost thought it was weeds at first when you sent me the picture, but no, it was substantial brassicas. Yeah. And the rest of the field was just dog shit.
Yeah. So got to check that one that night, and then I kind of ran out of time. I mowed that bottom alfalfa field. I checked on our beans. Looked freaking great down there. I was like, and the grasses in the CRP that we sprayed in March, if you guys remember us talking about that, exploded.
Yeah.
So happy with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff easily went from last year, call it fairly it's big blue and baby blue and stuff.
Yeah, Indian grass.
Last year was maybe 4 or 5
and
foot
spotty
and
spotty because there was other broadleafs and stuff.
A lot of cool seasons in there. So we sprayed that in March with glyphosate. Before the warm seasons got going, and that stuff is easily 6, 7, maybe 7.5, 8 foot tall.
And looks like a warm season field,
thick and gnarly.
Yep, that's
pretty
awesome.
Pretty awesome. So, because I know we're out of time here. I did that night, and then. Got dark at 7:30, whatever it does, and then my mission was to get that frickin' disc working.
Yep.
So it's been a progression here. It's the first time I tried, I was oh, we need to replace this hose, and I replaced it. Then I was oh, the other hose blew, and I was okay. So next time I come back with a hose, and then I was well, the tire is flat also, so I'm maybe it'll take it. So I bought a Milwaukee. I can run it off my thing. So one pumped up nice.
Yeah.
The other one. Totally dry
rot out.
By the grace of God, I found 2 brand new tires.
Attaboy, Carl.
Sitting in the barn. There's more than 2 actually. There's a whole. We have a stockpile of tires. Wheels on wheels. Yeah. But the ones that I have, I think they're brand new. So I put 2 new wheels on this thing.
Very nice.
Took me a while to get the ones off because found Carl had the original nut buster or whatever they call it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He is the original
nut buster. And it was an old can. It was from the 60s. It worked.
The old PV blaster.
Only got a couple nicked up there a little bit, but got them wheels off, got the new wheels on. And so the next day I was able to go over to that one brassica plot that half of it, needed tilled over and, some intermixed stuff. There was all kind of things that happened, but I picked up that I wasn't even going to put seed down.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Because the rain was weak, and then all of a sudden it was we're going to get 3/4 of an inch.
So then I scrambled and got I got a seed guy out there to Tim, shout out to Tim, on a Sunday to leave some out for me, and I went double on it was a pea cereal grain mix. So I grabbed that all on Sunday, And so I was able to use that disc on its maiden voyage and seed that new plot the next day. But the other brassica plot, though, the bigger one up by our bean plant looks
great.
Like I had to call you on a video call and be like, dude, look how good this looks.
I couldn't believe it. Giant bulbs, leafy. Did you overseed in that?
Oh, yeah.
Just throw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I took the...
Oh, you did take the push?
I bought that stupid...
Yeah, push thing.
One wheel broke off at the end of it.
Of course it did.
Dude, nobody sells those Earthway seeders.
I know, it's crazy.
Except maybe the Farmers Exchange, but it was like on a Sunday.
Yeah, you weren't getting it.
I went to Blaine's, Bass Pro, and Lowe's.
I bet Farm King and what's it called?
Canton
would have had one.
Maybe.
But
that's what in my mind, I thought Blaine's was.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, I bet they would have. But anyways.
So... yeah, dude. So I got all the trails mowed. I got both those brassica plots interseeded.
We didn't get as much rain as we wanted. I think we got a quarter.
If that. But hopefully enough to get that stuff germinated.
Maybe.
You think?
Maybe.
And I got all the scrapes refreshened up. Again, we had a long scrape conversation with Bomar. I was like, I need this stuff powdery. So I just raked the crap out of everyone. You know, I got new scrape limbs on some of those. Some of those vines have lifted.
Yeah, because of the leaves coming off and stuff.
I assume so. And they just haven't been. So I
saw that.
Zip tied on one of those oak branches on there.
I think the other thing I saw too was, well, first of all, our 5-year-old Kamikaze was in Corn Cove 20 minutes before you were in there with the tractor.
Yeah.
Just working his way through, which was interesting. But I think people saw your pictures and like, I thought you guys weren't getting a lot of rain. That is what good soil will do. Like we've gotten a half-inch of rain in 30 days, right? We've gotten 3.5 inches in 60 days, and it's been hot. Good soil will grow shit. And so even with low moisture, and this is where we talk about that's all been CRP, hasn't been farmed in a long time, and if it does, it's no-till. That topsoil layer is extremely thick, and that keeps moisture.
I think that's what it is.
Because we're not turning it over and over again and just losing soil moisture. It's going to withhold moisture. Organic topsoil with high organic matter is going to keep moisture way better than anything else. And so I think that has been what's been able to get our beans and our brassicas and our clover all looking fantastic.
Those beans look so good. Like what a testament to putting in the work early in the summer, before the rain shuts off. It's like, dude, we have, I'm talking, a lot of food. These are 4-foot tall beans filled to the brim with pods.
Yep.
A low deer density in the summer also helps. Not mad at that at all.
No, not at all. So now it's kind of we've got one shooter for sure on there, maybe two. I guess at 9 point, who's 6 years old.
At least two, yeah.
Yep. So it's just kind of, and we're approaching the next 2.5 weeks is usually when we start to see some deer showing up at night or whatever. That
couple nice 4-year-olds too.
Yeah.
That one I'm thinking is probably a 4-year-old. I guess we still haven't fully decided.
The wide one?
11 or whatever he is.
Oh, the 11? Yeah.
No, the wide one I think for sure is a 4-year-old.
Yeah, he'll be a stud next year.
He's nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, that farm's coming together. That's kind of a waiting game.
I think that fork buck I think he's a 3-year-old.
Yep. And that one that we got that had all the forks is a 3-year-old, like fork 2s and 3s.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen him.
We only got like 1 or 2 pictures of him.
He was probably 3-year-old also, yeah.
So, I mean, there's some really good deer that are, and we know that they're around, especially because you said some of the crops are starting to come down out there.
A little bit.
So that all of a sudden there's your lull, right? Those people are like, wait, where'd my deer go? All of a sudden they show up on our farm.
I saw that 9 point, by the way.
Oh, did you?
In the morning, I saw him across the back of that cornfield going back to bed with another buck across the road.
Oh, across the road. Interesting. Yeah. Doing the same thing Floppy did.
Similar, probably. Yeah.
Interesting.
I caught him back there sparring with another little bit of fog in the morning,
Yeah. 6-year-old.
But overall, dude, I was just elated with how the farm looks. Clover's bouncing back. Brassicas look good. I, like, out of nowhere was able to get those. That Ryan stuff's going to really
it's going to blow up.
It's going to look nice. Beans look good. Switch looks good. CRP looks good. All the stands are in the right spots. Remowed all the trails. All the scrapes are freaking like, oh, dude, I just left there feeling like this place is ready to go.
Yeah. So, and that's the whole point. So, like, when they show, we can just go and hunt.
Yeah.
We don't have to be like, oh, we need to do this or we need to do this. There's a few things, like one of the blinds
we need to
get
that blind
up
together.
But other than that, everything else is like we're teed up at this point.
There's a couple other spots I would consider putting that as we wrap up here. I know. I like the one where it's at up top there, but if we get a pattern on that Nebraska plot on the north, I consider pulling one up there.
Yeah, I would agree.
Either that or we get a stand in one of those trees.
There's like one tree right there that could work out.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. But yeah, I feel really good about. Is that corn to the north or beans this year?
Both. It's beans immediately to the north, but there's corn out there, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man, I feel really good about where that's all sitting on that side. And yeah, still early. Like I said, we're filming this on the 8th, and you know, you guys are listening to this on whatever, 10th, 12th. But the next 2 to 3 weeks are every week gets better. That's the way that you got to look at it at this point. Every week is going to get better. And yeah, that's all we got for this week. So just be in it, man. You know, it's like we got some October projects, you know, to be working on here and stuff, but slowly but surely we're taking the opportunities on the good weather days as best as we can.
Yep. Getting work done on the other days. And cause it's, you know, how does Winky say it, or used to say, like, November's right around the corner. November's coming.
Dream big.
And always remember.
Dream big. Anyways, we appreciate you guys listening to Hunt Companion this week, and we'll catch y'all next Sunday.
Hunt Companion.
Take me